Join us as we take a look back at the Multnomah Bar Association's first century of service. This presentation brought to you by premier event sponsor, the Nagley Reporting Corporation. On February 3, 1906, a group of 40 local attorneys met to discuss organizing a bar association. On February 17, 1906, bylaws were adopted and the Multnomah Bar Association began with 57 attorneys.
My name's John Ryan, and I'm 240 years old. That puts you at ease, Ryan?
And I am no longer 240 years old because I passed away, but I came back just to see that justice was done.
Each generation has approached the practice of law in a different way, each striving to continue the tradition of excellence and professionalism.
We had one woman in our law class, and God bless her, she took more guff from the guys, but she was number one in the class.
I think there were 30% of my law school class was women. Now I think it's generally over 50%.
This is an opportunity. I did not necessarily see it as a barrier.
Yes.
I said this is an opportunity and we'll just kind of see what happens.
Even early on when I was an associate, there were people, including white male partners, who really felt that a diverse workforce was important and also good for business.
In June of 1965, MBA attorneys responded to President Kennedy's call to go to the southern part of the United States to assist in bringing the civil rights struggle from the streets into the courtroom.
At least for me, and I think for many of the others, most of the others, there was the idea that something very historic and good was happening.
And this was a clear opportunity where, for once, after I'd done a lot of defense work up here, you represented somebody that was absolutely on the right side.
It was one of the few times that purity was on one side and impurity on the other.
My fellow Americans, I am about to sign into law the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
While societal norms were fast changing, so was the face of the Portland legal profession. In 1969, Mercedes F. Diaz was the first African-American judge appointed here in Oregon.
One of the best things I think we're doing is through the bar's affirmative action program, their OLEO program. I was there just this last summer when they had their orientation for new students of color entering the Oregon law schools.
I think when I started there were less than 10. I would guesstimate that today there may be close to 100. The types of activities that the attorneys are participating in has also expanded.
The legal community in Oregon is a welcoming environment where people of all colors, races, and ethnic backgrounds can excel academically, professionally, and personally.
I'm so focused on accomplishing whatever goals I've set out for myself, and I think in many respects I've been very fortunate in the colleagues that I've worked with.
Throughout most of history, women have fought for a re-evaluation of traditional views of their role in society. Women lawyers rose to prominence in the MBA, and Susan Hammer was elected president of the MBA in 1987.
I think women have just a different sense of what a career path is, and maybe it's because we don't have the role modeling that says that's the way you're supposed to do it.
Good point.
Or maybe it's because we just have so many things we're interested in. The idea of doing the same thing for 50 years is not appealing.
I think most people don't realize that Oregon women lawyers grew out of the MBA's Committee on the Status of Women in the Profession. For the first time ever, there was a large enough mass of women lawyers practicing in Multnomah County that they had the numbers to make their voices heard.
And when I would go to the call of the calendar, there would be like 300 lawyers and I would be the only woman. And it was just sort of an atmosphere of shock, like, what are you doing here?
Actually, I think the number of women now more closely reflects their percentage in the population, makes the bar more representative of the general population.
I don't think we're there yet. I think we've got a long way to go still.
The Multnomah Bar has a grand tradition of courtesy, cooperation, candor, and of mentoring new lawyers. And it is clear that this is one of the reasons the lawyers in the MBA practice in a very professional and collegial manner.
It's nice to see that an organization that a number of us helped create back in the late 70s and launched it as part of the MBA in 1980 has continued to serve an important function, providing opportunities for younger lawyers to become active in the bar and really be the engine of much of the public service that the Bar Association is involved in.
The young lawyers oftentimes will have the most ability to kind of dedicate time and energy towards giving back or participating. As people go further on in life, they have perhaps more obligations and more time constraints.
Every day somebody comes with a new idea, a new exciting project, and the energy that is in the YLS is always so thrilling to me because rarely does anybody ever say no. It's always, well, how can we do it?
Some smart lawyers, someplace, decided to have a radio program. The four of us sat in a room, telephone would ring, and somebody would pick it up and say, here's a question for us, and Walter, you take it. Walter said, I don't know anything about it. Manley would always take it.
A legal needs study was done in the 90s that determined that less than 20% of low-income people with legal needs actually are receiving assistance with those needs.
The Multnomah Court Care, operated by the Volunteers of America, Oregon, was founded by the MBA and Multnomah County judges. This is a free drop-in child care center for children ages 6 weeks through 5 years, whose parents have business in the Multnomah County Courthouse and no other child care.
The summit had a report that was prepared which addressed things that needed to be looked at law schools, among judges and among lawyers. And one of the things that lawyers needed to have was some kind of creed by which they operated.
MBA members donate tens of thousands of hours each year in free legal services to seniors, low-income families, and individuals to ensure equal access to justice, regardless of economic limitations.
But an office was open, and from what I understand, 30 clients lined up on the very first day that the office opened in February, I believe, in 1936. And we've been busy ever since. Every week we have a case meeting and discuss the cases that come in every week and make pretty tough decisions about what cases we can accept.
Probably for every case that we are able to accept, at least 2 people are turned away who have completely valid, legal needs. And I think our mere presence in many parts of the state really does make a difference, for folks who would otherwise not be paying attention to what the law requires.
Today, the MBA is the largest volunteer bar association in Oregon, with over 4,000 lawyer and judge members, dedicated to providing essential membership benefits, committed to community service, and devoted to encouraging and rewarding professionalism. Come and serve with us in our second century and help write the next 100 years.
The history of legal support has evolved from shorthand and marker boards to court reporting, videography, worldwide video conferencing, and multimedia presentations for trial. The Nagley Reporting Corporation has embraced the technological advancements of our time, defined them, and harnessed it in all of our products and services for the legal industry. Past, present, and into the future, the Nagley Reporting Corporation will not only be there, but will lead the way. The Nagley Corporation congratulates the Multnomah Bar on an outstanding first 100 years of success and service.